Hey, peace and blessings to your family. This is Zion. I won't be before you long. God woke me up at 5:30 in the morning, and it wasn't anything bad that I ate. It wasn't a bad dream. No, a lot of times God, He wants to speak to us, and oftentimes it's when we're still and when we're not busy, when He has our full attention. I'm kind of reminded of David. He wrote in Psalms 23, He maketh me to lie down in green pastures and lead me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. A lot of times restoration comes when we're still, to be still and know that Yahweh is God. And so this morning, I got an impression upon my heart, a couple impressions, but I only have time to talk to you about one. I begin to talk it out. And as I begin to talk, I get like a prophetic flow, and God begins to really speak to me about myself. And then everyone else, they can just dig in and just get what they want. It's sort of like a buffet. When you go to a buffet, I personally don't like buffets. But if you go to a buffet, you don't eat everything. There are only a certain couple of dishes that you do, in fact, like. But you don't go and load up your plate with everything there. Only what you want or what you really need. And so hopefully you'll get your full serving out of this. So 5:30 this morning, God began to place an impression upon my heart of a graveside service. This particular funeral service took place at a graveside. And so a graveside service is just straight and cut and dry to the point. The preacher is there. You may have a psalmist that may sing. The words are said. Anyone else that may have to say something, or if there's a testimonial, if there is time for that, that goes forth, and that's pretty much it. And then everyone is escorted off of the premises behind the family, the grieving family. So just imagine if at this particular graveside there are obviously the loved ones, the family and friends, or employees, employers. There is the cemetery staff that is there. There's also the mortuary service and the staff, along with the funeral director that is there. So you have an array of different people at this graveside service, but after the service is over, now it's time for everyone to go. And everyone at the graveside service leaves except for you. You are there 1 hour later. After everyone is gone, you're still standing in the same place. Now, the cemetery staff needs everyone to leave because the workers need to do what they refer to as a closure. You lower the body into the vault, close off the vault. If there's not a mausoleum that's involved, the dirt is placed on the coffin, the casket. It is lowered into the ground, and the earth is placed on top of it. This is the reason why they call it closure. It's time for some closure to take place. But everyone is gone except for you. You're there. 5 hours later, you're still there. 5 days later, you're still standing in the same place. 5 months later, you're still standing in the same place. Everyone has gone on. They have moved on with their lives. They are paying bills. They're going to weddings and even other funerals. Babies are being born. Graduating from college and universities. Promotions. Going to work. Clocking in and clocking out. Going to the park. Taking vacations. But you're still 5 years later standing at the graveside service alone. And God just began to impress upon my heart, oftentimes this is what we do. The closure is so necessary because the dead body that is lifeless, there is no more life. The spirit goes back to God for eternity, or it's in hell. But either way, the spirit and the soul will reside forever, beyond forever. But what's in that casket is dead. It is lifeless. And now it's time for the cemetery staff to bring closure by lowering that body, that lifeless body, into the ground to bring closure, to close it off. deep within the earth. You may not ever get closure from the person that lied on you, that scandalized your name. You may not ever get closure from the woman who came in between you and your husband as the mistress on the side. You may not ever get closure, sir. The friend that you thought was your friend that was cheating with your wife behind your back. You may not ever get closure at the child that did you wrong and cussed you out like a dog. You may not ever get closure from that business deal that went bad. And the reason why it went bad because you went into business with a friend that was really a frenemy. Half friend and half enemy, and you begin to see the enemy part by him or her stealing from you. You may not ever get closure from the deadbeat dad or the deadbeat mom. You may not ever get closure from the person that molested you, from the incest that you were a victim of, from the domestic violence that you had to endure in your life. You may not ever get closure from somebody who told one lie that changed your entire diameter of your life as you know it. You may not ever get closure the way that you think that you should. But the closure oftentimes comes when you decide that I have been standing by this graveside long enough. I've been here for 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, winter, spring, summer, and fall, in the midst of 105-degree weather, in the midst of a hurricane, in the midst of a blizzard and snowstorm. I have been standing here while everyone else is going on with their life. Everyone else is marrying. Everyone else is going off to school and graduating. Everyone else is going to funerals and weddings. Everyone else is taking vacations. Everyone else is doing life but me. We have to decide when it is time to leave the graveyard. And as Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. Whatever emotions that are on the inside, what have ever occurred to you that was detrimental on the outside, only we can get to a place in time to whereas we make a decision to enjoy time and not let time do us. So I just encourage you. This blessed me. As you can see, I'm hyped. I'm amped about it. I'm going to continue to meditate because we've been at the graveside long enough while everyone else have moved on with their life, enjoying and doing life, while we're still in a cemetery surrounded by dead thoughts, dead emotions, dead things of our past that haunt us because we need to take our place out of that dead environment and place ourselves in an environment of light and life. And Jesus said, whom the Son set free is free indeed. And he came for that very reason, that we might have life, not death, but life more abundantly. But in order to enjoy life, we have got to die to something. And oftentimes the thing that we have to die to or die from is the very thing that we're holding on to, that we won't let go, that we give life to, yet it is a dead thing. Peace and blessings. Love you to life.